What's going on, guys? Liam here, and today I'm talking bold predictions for the NRL 2023 season. So Fox Sports released a list of bold predictions they think are going to happen in the 2023 season. So let's go through them one by one. I'll give my 2 cents. Drop a comment if you agree or disagree with some of these bold predictions. I'd love to hear what you guys think about this. And just moving forward, guys, I'm going to be doing more of these long form videos on YouTube, just because as much as I love TikTok, it's very short form and I can't really get my point across properly. A lot of the times I'll do a video and then someone will go, "You didn't mention that, blah, 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 blah." I'm like, yeah, man, I've got a minute to talk. So this I can actually explain the whole situation on what I think, and less people will think I'm an idiot. Hopefully. Maybe. Probably not. But anyway, let's go. Alright, got my coffee, I'm ready to roll. Right, first one. Actually, the first one I'm going to skip just because I don't know anything about these new Origin rule changes. However, we will, and I believe it is just more on the eligibility and stuff like that. But I don't really care about this. State of Origin, to me, it's just, can we just have the best players playing, please, whether you're from Queensland or New South Wales? I really don't care where your grandma was born. I just want to see the best players playing. To me, State of Origin has always been the pinnacle, and I don't want to see good players not be able to play because they moved to Queensland a week late or something like that. So we'll see. Dolphins to play finals footy. LOL. In fact, I'd have them getting the wooden spoon, if anything. So just put this in perspective, guys. Broncos, I believe, won 12 games last year and missed the finals. I do not think the Dolphins are going to win more than 12 games this year. That is absolutely insane. I think they'll struggle to win 5 games, which would put them pretty damn close to the wooden spoon. I'll probably have them win maybe 3 games, to be honest with you. Parramatta will probably lose to them. They love losing to bad teams, but that would be about it. In fact, I think the Dolphins are paying $3.50 to win the wooden spoon, and that's pretty much as close to a lock as I can sort of ever imagine. They're not a good team and not going to be a good team, and Wayne Bennett will be getting his first wooden spoon, I'd say, unfortunately. But I'd love to see the Dolphins do well, man. I just don't see it happening. Sam Walker to replace DCE as Maroons number 7. If the Blues wrap up the series in the opening 2 games, we expect DCE to be dropped. Okay, I would have said no to this, but that makes sense. If New South Wales do win the first 2 games, why not blood a new guy? Much less pressure coming in on the kid, getting a State of Origin cap under his belt without the pressure of State of Origin. He'll get the big moment without the pressure of having to win a game or having to lock up a series or whatever, something like that. So I think that's probably a really good move. I don't think DC's really done anything wrong to lose his spot, but other than age, he's gotten older, and Sam Walker's young and damn talented. So that's not a bad move. I think they should definitely stick with DCE. But yeah, if New South Wales wrap that up, I'd definitely chuck him in there for sure. Latrell Mitchell to win Dally M. Drop your Dally M's in the comments, guys. I'd love to see who you think's going to win this year. I would love to see Trell Mitt win this one. I just have a feeling, though, that I don't know. I just have a feeling this might be Cleary's year, man. Nathan Cleary's, they're going to be a dominant team again. They're going to win a lot of games. He's going to be very consistent. If he doesn't spear, tackle anyone, or get injured, he's going to play a lot of games. He's in his absolute prime. He's getting better and better every year. And if Penrith win the minor premiership, I dare say he's going to probably win the Dally M. So that's my pick. But I'd love to see Trell Mitt get it. That'd be awesome. Tim Sheens to guide the Tigers back to the finals. Again, it's very hard to get into the finals. I think Tigers won, 4 games last year? 4? 5 maybe? So to say they're going to get another 7, win 12 or 13 to get into the finals, I don't see it happening. However, I definitely believe they're going to improve from last year, and I'm really excited to see how the Tigers do. Jared Croker to pay 300 games. For anyone who doesn't know who Croker is a legend of Canberra. He's had a horrible run with injuries, and he's played a lot of games really young. I couldn't believe he felt like he'd been around forever a few years ago, and he was only 24 or something. Well, it might have been longer than a few years ago, but I remember being blown out at his age because I felt like I've been watching the guy for 10 years and he was only 24 or 25 or something. But he's getting on now, and he's had a horrible run with injuries, so I'd nothing more I'd love to see for Croker to be able to put a season together at the very least, or you know what I mean, just be there, because he was one of the elite centres, an elite goal kicker, absolute legend of the Canberra club, so hopefully he can do that. That'd be amazing. Nicho Hines to be top point scorer. I do not see this happening. Love Hinesy, but if we have a look at top point scorers, we've got Val Holmes, try scoring machine and good goal kicker. This is last year's standings. Mitch Moses, Sam Walker, so he's 4 back, quite a big chunk away from Val Holmes, but Val Holmes would have got smoked by my pick if he stayed healthy, Pappenhausen. Pappenhausen was so far ahead of the game when he got injured. He only played 12 games last year and 140 points just about. That's over 10 points a game. So, yeah, I dare say Paps is going to be up there. So he's going to have another one to contend with. Mitch Moses always up there in top point scorers. But Val Holmes and Pappenhausen are going to be hard to beat just because they score a lot of tries. Cleary missed a ton of games last year as well. As you can see here, Cleary missed a ton of games. He only played 21. Nico only played 25, but still, 4 games, and he's only. I guess he still probably would have pipped him, but he will have Cleary to contend with as well. So that's going to be tough, man. But I dare say that'll be the top 5. We'll probably go Val Holmes. So Pappenhausen, Val Holmes, Mitch Moses. Walker will be up there again. Cleary's going to be up there. And that'll sort of be the top guys there. And scoring a lot of points. Got a lot of points. Who else we got in here? Reynolds. He'll probably... Reynolds played 20 games last year. It's not too bad. Trell Mitt, healthy. He's good for a few tries as well. He could be up there as well. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I don't see Hinesy getting this one. But he, top 5, top 6 for sure. He could definitely push for a second or a third. But we'll have to wait and see. Storm to win minor premiership. I don't think so. But I've been wrong about them so many times. So I'm not writing Melbourne off this year. That's for damn sure. But I don't know if they'll get the minor premiership. However, their losses, Brandon Smith, he sort of didn't have a position at the club. He just came on and just went berserk. He was sick. He just come on and cut sick. He was like a greased up pig just running around. They're so hard to tackle. Look, man, I'll be honest. I think the Bromwich brothers are actually, put it this way, when the Bromwich brothers signed with, as much as Melbourne would love the Bromwich brothers and they've been a big part of the club, when they signed somewhere else, I don't think they would have been disappointed. I think they would have been on low key. They were pretty bad last year. They probably started declining 3 years ago, but last year, so like 2021, they were a bit average. 2022, they were pretty bad. Jesse Bromwich in particular, he had some really bad games, like uncharacteristic games where he was putting down the ball 3 times in a game. He had a couple. There was a game last year where they pretty much lost because of Bromwich, Jesse Bromwich. It was terrible. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see there. But Kafusi's a bit of a loss. But Melbourne, the Kings are just plugging in a new guy there. I think Tarek Sims comes in. So yeah, man, I don't see. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. It's a possibility. I'm not going to say no to that. I don't think it will happen, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see. All right, Parramatta to miss the top 8. All right, so the Eels have lost 6 players from their strongest 17 and will struggle to make the finals, let alone return to the grand final. I disagree with this. There is a possibility they'll miss the top 8, but I just don't see, keep talking about all these losses of all these players, but let me break this down for you real quick. Reid Marnie, big loss, great player. But they got, is it Hodgson? He's amazing. They're not going to really miss much there. I'd rather have Reid, if I was a Parramatta supporter, I'd rather Reid Marnie because he's younger, not super injury prone, all this sort of stuff. But on straight rugby league skill, they're not really missing a whole heap there. I just don't think they are. Isaiah Papali'i, big loss. But remember, Parramatta, there's definitely a possibility. We'll have to wait till next year to see how he plays at the Tigers, but there's a very good chance Parramatta actually made him look good. He was putrid at the Warriors. He was not a good player, so there's a very good chance he was just an alright player that was in a really good system. So we won't know. But Parramatta are good at making forwards look better. Sean Lane, he sucked everywhere he went. He killed it. I mean, Junior Paulo, I know he was at Parramatta originally, but I think he got much better when he came back to Parramatta. RCG, I reckon he went to a new level when he came to Parramatta. Madison, I think he's better since he's been at Parramatta. They're good at making forwards better, so who knows? They could just plug someone in here and they could be absolutely killing it as well. Niokora, great plug-and-play player, but really positionless. He more just filled in when Parramatta had an injury, but so depth though, definitely missing some depth there. Oregon Kaufusi, I actually thought he was average rotational player. He averaged about 14 minutes a game. Some games he did not get on the park. He literally came on and just filled minutes for Junior Paulo or RCG. There was never a single game where I was like, oh my God, he's so good. And then they've just signed Marty Tapau as well. So I think Marty Tapau, even though he's, again, younger player, you'd probably, long term, you'd rather Kaufusi. But as far as like this year, like I'd much rather Tapau. Tapau's going to be a really good impact prop past his prime. But as far as being like a role-playing impact prop, just come on, run hard for 20 minutes, 15 minutes while Junior Paulo's having a break, I think they're actually better off. Tom Opacek, he was a fill-in as well. He was a backup. Ray Stone did not play last year. So what have we got? We've got a hooker, which has been replaced, a second row who is lost, a role player, an upgrade from Kaufusi, lost some depth, and lost a player that didn't play last year. I don't see the big deal. I really don't. Parramatta have a good system. I think they're going to be just fine. Will they make the grand final again? Maybe, maybe not. But yeah, I can definitely see them not making the top four again like they did last year. Finishing, 5th, 6th, 7th. But I think they'll be okay. I still think they're better than, the teams that finished just outside the 8. Like, I don't see them being, like, the Bulldogs being better, St George being better, Broncos being better. I definitely think Parramatta's still a better ball club than those. Blues to win first 2 games of State of Origin. Definitely a possibility. I believe Game 2 is in Suncorp, so that's going to make it hard. But I think you'd rather play at Suncorp in a Game 2 than a Game 3. But I think it really depends how that first game goes. We'll have to wait and see. I am tipping Blues to win this game, to win this series, but to lock it up in 2 might be tough. Kalen Ponga, permanent switch to the halves. I don't like this at all. Big Kalen Ponga fan. I think he's awesome, but his chin is gone. Anyone that knows anything about fighting or just concussions and being knocked out, the more you get knocked out, the easier it is. And if you actually watch his last couple knockouts, the last few times he got knocked out, they were not big hits. Earlier in his career, some of the hits he took that knocked him out were big shots. But the last couple, there was one last year, I don't know if it was the last one or the second last one before they wrapped his season up. He didn't even get hit in the head. He literally got hit here, his head went back like that, and then it was a ball and all tackle and he went down. It was just the jolt that knocked him out. And now you're going to put him in the line, tackling second rowers, kick out for feeder, all these guys just blasting onto him, and he's going to have to dig into the line to ball play. He's going to go to sleep a lot if this happens. So I like him much better at fullback. He can inject himself in the game when he wants to, and he's not going to have to make a million tackles against really tough guys. So I don't know, man. I don't like that at all. I reckon they're playing with his future doing that. Because, I remember chatting to a head doctor a long time ago, and he said to me, like, it's actually not that unhealthy being knocked out once or maybe even twice, but he said you've only really got 6 or 7 in you before you start having some real bad brain damage. And, there's like some people get knocked out 10, 11, 12 times and they're fine, but he said mostly it's that sort of 5 or 6 knockout, 6 or 7 knockouts, and you're going to have some serious issues in the future. And I think Ponga got knocked out, 4 times last year, 4 or 5 times in 1 year. Yeah, not good. Dave Fafita leaves the Gold Coast here. There are rumours of him going to Canberra. As you can see, Jack Wrighton is the man in Canberra. and it's looking like we'll have to take a pay cut from 1.2 million. What a rip-off, to 900,000. Still pretty overs. But man, I reckon Dave Fafita should go to Parramatta. Now with the salary cap's gone up, they need a new second rower. They just lost Papali'i. I reckon he'd fit in real good there, running off Moses and stuff like that. You know what I mean? That's if you put Fafita, if you plop him back in where Papali'i was, you are now you're a contender again, I think. You're a genuine contender again. I think Fafita, even though he is like a really, really, really good second rower, I don't think he's like, you don't want to build a team around him. He's like, we're doing stuff and then throw it to him. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I think he'd be really good at Parramatta. He'd be good at Canberra too. But yeah, that's a lot of money taken up. Even if the salary caps has gone up 1.2 million, that's still a big chunk, sort of thing. So, and I know Parramatta don't like paying a lot for their second rowers. So, and their forwards in general. I was actually shocked how little they got paid. Sonny Bill Williams to fight Paul Gallen, who cares? Bulldogs to miss the top 8. I don't know if that's a bold prediction, Fox Sports. That's no, I don't think many people have them making the top 8. Doggies fans obviously have them making the top 8. I'd probably put them in that 12 to 8th spot, like scrape in maybe. But yeah, that's definitely not a bold prediction. Anthony Seabolt to struggle. Yeah, if Travojevic isn't there, if they don't get their stuff under control, he will struggle there. I don't think he's an amazing coach. I don't think he's a bad one either, but that's going to it's going to be interesting. I like this the seagull, the eagles, seagulls. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't see it happening. If Travojevic isn't healthy, and he just might be one of those unlucky guys that's just really got just a bung body. His body's too good for how he can do too much. He's too athletic for his own body. Nanai to sign record deal. Yeah, I hope so. He's real good, man. When he burst on the scene, I remember like 4 games deep in the season and in Queensland. As much as I love you guys, I live in Queensland, but you guys just pump up someone so quick. It was like 3 or 4 games in, I was like, and they're talking about he's the next big thing, and I was like, shut up. He's had a few good games, but then man, I watched. Man, he is good. I was like, damn, this dude can play. I was really impressed with his sideways movement, like when he's stepping. You can always tell a proper athlete. My old man always said this. You know, you can tell a proper athlete when they almost look like they speed up when they step sideways. So if you remember back in the day, Justin Hodges, he'd almost slow down. Like he was strong up top, so he was hard to tackle. But those proper athletes with the fast twitch, you know, you look at the American NFL players, they can move sideways so well. And he's one of them. There's only a handful in the NRL, I think, that I've seen that actually look like they build up speed when they step, and he'd be one of them. Dylan Brown, Tedesco, guys like that. Trell's pretty quick when he's going sideways. But yeah, there's not many in the NRL. Like most people slow down when they go sideways, and he almost seems to speed up. So Cowboys don't mind throwing money at forwards either. So I'd probably look at getting rid of Luai. He seems to be more of a headache. Luai, for me, he's an X-factor player. He'll crack open games for you. But I feel like Nanai, I'm just waiting for him to make him. When there's ever a big like games on the line, I'm just waiting for him to make a mistake. He's sort of that break, like win or bust player. He'll win you a game, he'll lose you a game, and obviously with the domestic violence stuff, if they can get rid of that, him to free up some cap space, I'd probably look at doing it and locking him in long term. Brandon Smith to fire at Roosters. I thought it said to get fired from the Roosters. Both possibilities. Yeah, I love my cheese. He's good. He's a good player. He's a legend. He's got a personality, which is great to see every now and again. I don't know. I like him as a running lock, but the running lock's sort of dead. Like, they're all ball playing locks now, so maybe hooker is his best position. But again, man, I'm just pumped to see him play for the Roosters, and he's going to be a handful as always. Broncos to win first finals game since 2017. Now I've said it before and I'll say it again. Broncos could squeak into the 8. they'll be fighting for an 8th spot for sure. They're going to win games this year. They're going to win a lot of games. It's just, is it going to be enough games to get them into the finals? Again, remember, you've got to win a lot of games to make the finals. You can't just, you can't just sort of win one, lose one anymore. It's you got to string some together, which they did do last year. But then they went on such a skid at the end, they struggled. But let me show you something here, guys, and this is why I don't think they're going to make the finals. Tell me what's wrong with this. This is leading errors in the NRL last year. I'll have a sip of this while you check it out. This well, this is the top 100, but Reece Walsh, Selwyn Cobbo, Corey Oates, and Katoni Staggs all were pretty much, what was it, 4 of the top 6 in errors were Broncos last year. Now, that's putridly bad. And I don't see, like, unfortunately, they're just, diamonds are rocks players, these guys. Like, I love Staggsy. I don't think he's played properly, but he's good for an error. He goes before he catches the ball sometimes. He puts a few down. Corey Oates just can have putrid nights. He'll score 4 tries, but then he'll drop 4 balls the next game. Selwyn Cobbo, very similar. Very, very similar. And Reece Walsh, I just don't trust his hands at all. Full of errors, and you're really going to struggle here. And just think about this too. Wonga Blake had a game where he put down 5 balls in the finals. If you take those 5 off, you know what I mean? So 33. Broncos would have 4 of the top 5 in errors. You know what I mean? Let's just say Wonga Blake didn't have that stinker night. Yeah, like I don't know if you can fix this. I was chatting to a mate about it the other day, and he's like, "Yeah, man, but they'll get better at catching." I'm like, "Bro, they've been practicing catching their whole careers already." You know what I mean? Like, what you think? You think Corey Oates hasn't worked on his catching through his whole career? Like, they've been practicing, bro. You've either got good hands or you don't. It's just the way it is. You can have a stink at night sometimes, but when you were talking about season after season after season, and you're leading the errors, I don't see how it could get better. I could see Corey Staggs tidying his game up a little bit. But also I feel like he gets a lot of pressure balls. Like, they'll just peg it to him when there's not much on. You know what I mean? So but I definitely could see Katoni Staggs tidying his game up. I really hope he has a good year this year. He's a gun, underutilised, and I think he's a gun. But look at these. Like, look at this top. We've got 18 players here. Look at how many Penrith players are in here. Let's have a look. 1, 2 in the top 20, so a few errors there, but nothing crazy. Who finished second? Parramatta 1. Is there another 2? Clint. Fuck, he puts his hand on the ball so much, so that's expected. So let's go Roosters. Any? Not a player. Bunnies. There's 1. Cody Walker. That's it. Sharkies 2. Cowboys. Anyone? 1. Felt. Fuck it. He sucks. You get my drift. The top teams don't have tons of players that make errors, sort of thing. Even look Canberra. We've got 2. You know what I mean? They finished 8th. It's just this is a problem. This is a serious problem. All right. Panthers to miss the top 4. I don't know how the most consistent team over the last 4 years is going to go from the most dominant team to 5th or worse. I don't care if they've lost players. They've still got that same system. They've still got a lot of the same pieces in there. So, and Kickout's good for a win, but he's good for a few errors as well. So I think they'll be just fine. Dragons to win wooden spoon. I actually picked this end of last year. I said this is definitely a possibility. The more I look at it, though, the more I think Redcliffe are going to get it. But I'm worried for the Dragons, man. They're Happy Coruscant to win Buy of the Year. I think this is almost a lock, even without seeing him play. Tigers forwards are good, so he's going to just give good service, run the ball. They're going to get forward a lot. You know what I mean? So I actually think he's gonna thrive at the Tigers. I think he's going to be really. I'm not going to say he's going to be as good as if he was at the Penrith, because the Penrith fullback's better than the Tigers. But it's not like he's walking into a rubbish pack and he's going to struggle, sort of thing. So I think that's definitely a possibility. Justin Holbrook, first coach sacked from the Titans. I don't know. I think things would have to be really bad for the Titans to sack him. I don't know how long he's got on his contract. He's having finals games since 2010. Look, they looked good at the end of last year, so they were sort of building on something. They were winning games and stuff like that. So unless they go on a real skid, even if they go like win a couple, lose a few, win one, lose a few, win one, lose one, you know what I mean? As long as there's wins peppered out through the year, I think they might not, but I don't know. I really don't know. I just don't know if there's any coaches out there that you go, oh, we've got to sack this guy to bring this guy in, like maybe Desi, I don't know. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see there. And that's it. Whew. Some bold predictions there and a few just pretty mainstream ones. But let me know what you think about this one, guys. And like I said earlier in the video, I'll be doing these videos a bit more regularly and ramp them right up, getting closer to the season, sort of just talking about what's going on, giving my take, and talking punting, talking a bit of betting and stuff as well. And yeah, I can't wait, man. So bring on the season, and I'll see you on the next one.